David, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Marcus. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, glad to have you here. So let's get started with a quick background about yourself for that the audience has some context on who you are.
Thank you. Well, to keep things interesting, I always start off by my own introduction by saying that I'm what most would call a Vietnamese boat baby. What that means was, just shortly after the fall of Saigon, Vietnam War, 1975, I was born. And those were the tough times. And at the age of 4, by way of sea, I had to escape with my aunt. Just to keep the story very brief, is I escaped out of Vietnam as a 4-year-old. I was rescued in open waters and became a refugee in Japan. For 1 year, by the age of 5, I immigrated to the United States and ended up growing up in San Jose, California. And then the rest is history. Did the American thing, right? Aunties and parents worked hard. I worked hard, part time, full time. Went through school. I went to school at San Francisco State, and during that time, it was just at the near the end and final calling of the dot bomb. But I got in a little bit, but not like the boys the way they did it. I got in at the tail end of the dot com era, learned technology, and here I am today. But yes, uh, born in Vietnam, immigrated to the U.S. by way of escaping communism, and grew up here in this wonderful country, and definitely leveraging all it has to offer and becoming who I am today.
Awesome. That is quite a start to your life there, born at that time.
Yes, yes.
All right, let's start now with an introduction to your company, Iveda, and any metrics you can share about the company to give the audience context on the size, revenue, number of employees, etc.
Sure. I founded Iveda back in 2003 while still in a full time job, which most of us do. And got my start in my career with the experience in telecom and primarily in wireless communication, packet data technology. Back in the late 90s and the 90s and early 2000s, that still was a big thing because the internet was still fairly new. Wireless internet was barely becoming. Um, and in my full time job back then, I was moonlighting with a security guard company, very prominent company based here in Arizona. And Iveda was founded on the fact that we needed to verify security alarms and alerts before we send out a physical security guard to save money and also to not have the alarm or the city charge you and fine you for false alarms. And we did that through video technology in 2003 to 2005. And what we did was we leveraged the old school Logitech cameras. I don't know if you recall, Marcus, back in the day, we had something called webcams. They were round eyeball looking thing mounted with USB or serial port connection, and you only can see through that computer. But we were pretty smart. My buddies and I would put like PC Anywhere. I think that software is still around. So we accessed that computer from Tucson, which is about 2.5 hours from Phoenix, and we sat in Phoenix and we monitored through that camera, mind you, 2003. Uh, the alarms that we used to get from this security company happened to be a grocery store plastic bag flapping on the fence, which triggered the alarm. So those were generating a lot of false alarms back then. Iveda was founded on that idea of, my God, what if we can check video before we call the cops, before we dispatch our people? And that idea never stopped. That's what really nurtured and provided all the innovation that Iveda is today. But we got our start. We incorporated the company in 2005. It was me and a high school buddy of mine. We kept in contact through college, and we started the company in incorporated in 2005 with two dudes. Typical Silicon Valley story, except it's here in Arizona. We rented an apartment, and that apartment back then, utilities were still included. So, Marcus, we plugged in computers and servers, a lot of them, utilizing not knowing we don't need to pay for electricity, and we started watching people's cameras, right? We put I'm summarizing a lot of the details to share with you this story. But at that time, it was credit cards, right? We asked for the metrics. Is I was still working full-time job, but I needed to get a contractor's license. I needed to buy IP cameras. Now, mind you, the IP camera was just barely invented in the year 2000. People don't realize that. That's not too long ago. Where you actually see video over the internet. It's a big thing back then. And we were one of the first guys who put a bunch of cameras together, and my buddy helped me write a script. Back then it was CGI, HTML, still very basic, that put one camera, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 onto one pane of glass, right? One window, which was a big deal. We're like, wow, we get to see 7 properties on one screen. We did that. That's who Iveda was back in the day. And from there, credit cards, I'll give you metrics about 79,000 to 112,000 on just multiple credit cards, on like 7 credit cards, because we were kids. We didn't have big limits. Fortunately, we had a customer that saw value. That customer was our first, I call, angel investor. It was quite major. It was our first $250,000, Marcus. 2 guys in an apartment, $250,000 to buy real servers, and to really learn and build out the business. And it is that same legacy shareholder that is still on our board of directors today. And he and his family and good friends have, over the years, just him, about over $3 million invested into the company. And this was going into 2000, from 2005 to 2010. And during that time, the company evolved. We developed proprietary video streaming technology till this day. And we were one of the first U.S. Video hosting companies, because that was a business model. You give us your video, we'll store it, we'll host it. All you got to do is access over the internet. Sounds pretty cool, right? No box on site. We were generating, I think, at that time, probably $80,000 a year. 2005, 2007, we're building a business, driving around, installing stuff. Margins were not great. Any entrepreneur knows, in the start, you were just running. So it took some time for us to grow to our first $1 million in revenue. So if this is in conversation about entrepreneurs, let's say the company originally incorporated in 2005. It took us till like 2009 to do $1 million in revenue. And that was the toughest. And while that, we had to raise a lot more millions to continue building the business, right? Things don't grow on trees, and they don't happen in your timing, Marcus. I'll tell you that. So from 2 guys, the company got to around 2012, 67 employees, because we built it to where we were hosting back before the big Amazons and AWS and Azure cloud. A company like Iveda had to do something called lease data centers, right? We leased the space, the bandwidth, the power. We came in and pitched up our own servers, and did all that stuff. Today, you can just, everything is as a service. It's beautiful. And that was just barely coming into play at that time. So we had the full IT staff hosting our customers' data, managing it. And then we also had staff that were watching cameras. We called them intervention specialists. They were full-time, around the clock, people who were watching cameras like I did in the early days, except it was very professional software. We partnered with other technology developers to really build out the tools that we use. And we caught crooks in real time. And we had TV commercials and everything here in the Valley. the web and internet. Social media was, barely picking up. But so the business was built to the point where we had one time 67 employees here in the US because we had the labor and technology. We combined digital technology with human monitoring to provide real time security and safety monitoring for our end customers. To more metrics, the company was around 3 to 4 million at that time. We had to expand on our technology and seek for more efficiency. When you start growing a lot of labor markets, you find that the business then focuses not on innovation, but a lot of people management. Not in professional development yet. I'll get to that, but this was just manpower management, and it was not easy. We're supposed to be a technology company, right? So we made the prudent decision on selling off that division of our company and decided to focus on software, focus on development, focus on solutions. And we did. From 2012 to 2018, this is where we realized that, look, we have a lot of data. We have quality data. We're masters in video surveillance technology as far as how to handle it, how to manage it, and how to stream it and redistribute everything. But we learned that manual management of that was no. So therefore, what we meant by development was we needed to apply more sensors, triggers, decision making. And then that's, machine learning. We didn't use the term artificial intelligence back in the day. 2014, 2015, it was analytics. It was machine teaching another machine. That was our automation. Well, lo and behold, that's what we all know as AI today, right? It's nothing more than data and math. So that's where we began to excel. But focusing on what matters to us, we are video. Our company was founded on video surveillance and all the application that applies to it. We then applied intelligence is what built the business today. We couldn't scale on our own, meaning yes, we generated revenue. Yes, we were growing in revenue, but we did not have a business model that can take it from 5 to 10, 10 to 20. And our eventual goal this year into the following, 36 months from now is let's maybe hit 50 to 100 million. Those numbers you can't speak of those numbers back in the kind of operation that we had. But today we can. And what is that? We also, in focusing on technology, refinement, and development, we also had to fine tune the business model. How is it that we're going to sell this technology? In the early days, Marcus, it was me and my Suburban going out, knocking on doors, picking up phone calls, showing people. We're still showing people in much cooler ways, but we were direct, man. We were hardcore street selling, good old street tactics, and we did. You build $100,000 business that way, but we couldn't scale that. Too many salespeople. We had the whole gambit of things: salespeople, inside, outside sales, but headache. So we got smarter, and a lot of our customers that we touched, that we got to pay attention, told us one thing, and I've learned from this. As a matter of fact, this is what we're focusing on now more closely. They all said, David, I already have a guy. I'm like, you do? Yeah, that guy sold me all my cameras. That guy installed my cameras. As a matter of fact, that guy keeps all this stuff running for me. I didn't know, I was just a young cat trying to earn business. There's something called systems integrators, Marcus, systems integrators, right? Service providers. I'm like, whoa, who is that guy? Can I have his name? And what they are is, Johnny's security company, Susie's alarm company. And these are when I began learning systems integrators and service integrators. So I just decided we here at the company, the only way to grow is make friends, build partnerships. Because one thing we have that a lot of people don't have is what we built, the technology and the tools that we built and operated so well. The goal was, how do we let more people know about it? How do we let more people use it? And it's not me and 4 or 6 sales guys pounding the pavement again. We started building technology that became tools for other technology companies, technology providers, and solutions providers. And this is how the business has scaled. It scaled not only here in the US, but globally. We began expanding in Taiwan in 2009 as part of a acquisition. We acquired a very mature camera manufacturer, NVRs, DVRs, video technology, because that's what we were in. And we needed to have a proper bundling. But we weren't in the manufacturing game. We acquired the company for market share as well as engineering expertise, all of what brought us to what we have today. And we today, when necessary, we outsource and we just OEM some already made products. The hardware is not important. It's the software and it's the application. And that's what our partners need from us. Our partners who service manufacturers, schools, government buildings, hospitals, our own homes, factories, you name it, 7-Elevens, everybody uses cameras in some manner. The goal is to make friends with the systems integrators that already have served these end users for many years to decades. And that's what we did to this day. And because of that, we've garnered a lot of significant global partners of scale. And we realize, Marcus, what was important is for us to share the technology. We not only had to show how it worked, we had to be able to properly train and maintain that infrastructure of train the trainer and supporting a global sales force, though they're not our own. But it is supporting our partners to excel in innovation, bundling packages, and also service offerings that just add value to their existing customers. And that's the magic, is existing customers are receiving higher value through their providers because of Iveda. So I spent the last 10 years to this day, 2018 or so till now, focusing on expanding our global reseller channel. Selling what? Iveda's AI, IoT, and smart city technologies. So yeah, the business started about 23 years ago, Marcus. Until this day, we're still hustling. Nothing has changed except a larger market, bigger problems, and more opportunities. So that's the fun part. That's the fun part.
Awesome. There's a lot to unpack there. I want to try to tie it back from the beginning of the company to what you guys are working on now. So the beginning, the early days of Iveda, it was helping security companies basically be able to check their cameras. If an alarm went off, I don't know what kind of location it would be, but if an alarm went off somewhere, the security companies wanted to verify whether or not that alarm was actually a real emergency, or, for example, it was a plastic bag caught on the fence that triggered the alarm. And you guys, that's how it started, correct? With that
Yes,
technology. Yeah,
yes. Let's call that the light bulb moment, right? The idea.
the light bulb moment. And then over the years, you guys have noticed that that technology could be applied to there's basically many different applications of that technology. One of those that you mentioned is smart cities. Could you dive into which industries you see benefit the most from these technologies, whether it be smart cities, etc.? And yeah, where you see that technology being really valuable going forward in the future?
Very, very good, but yet very broad question there, Marcus. Yes, video technology. What's really cool and fun about that is that it's not difficult to understand, right? No matter what age, what era we grew up, we all know that of surveillance cameras or video cameras, CCTV. Some still use that term. And they're all the same, just digitized and networked today. But a camera is a camera, right? One is clearer than another. I mean, let's use basic language and terms. What's awesome, what makes this business so wonderful, is that if we ask ourselves who uses a security camera, we can say almost everybody, especially today with the doorbell cameras we see now and I mean, from you and I at home to every single business and government agencies in the world. For what reasons? Safety, security, efficiency. Somebody's needing to monitor something in some way. Yes, the beauty is that Iveda realized we don't have to be the ones selling more cameras to the world. There's plenty of major players that do it so well and they build it so well. And there's always going to be renewal of new cameras necessary, just like how you and I swap our TVs over the decades. Businesses are doing the same thing with cameras. It'll never get old. It's just going to get better. And Iveda is one of those offerings where how cameras just get better, right? So before we were offering, let us manage the data. Let us figure what's going on for you. Let us watch it for you for a fee. But now we build technology that can be applied to almost any IP camera in the world like that. So you see, there's no more sales guy necessary to connect anything anymore. Everything is already interconnected over the internet in some form or another. The magic behind Iveda is that the customers that already have these cameras, we just call them hardware now. To us, they're just a video sensor. They're just another device. We enable our intelligence on this device, and now that device can count how many customers the donut shop has a day, how many bags of flour has been stacked and brought into the back door in that day, who brought it in and when, how many bags have been used, how many donuts were on display at that counter. Can you believe that 1, 2, 3 cameras can now give that business owner that metric, that data? And it's very accurate, more accurate than an employee at times. So this is what we're doing when answering your question on industries, everything from small mom and pop retail to major manufacturers and factories. And when it comes to smart cities, leveraging existing cameras within the city at all departments of the city, we help these cameras do something more than just record video for after the fact. These cameras can now monitor flood, traffic conditions, alert on accidents, or even trace wanted and known vehicles and perpetrators. But yeah, to answer your questions, what I'm sharing is we can continue to go deeper on all of this. But gosh, the variety, the flexibility in both application and technology, very exciting. It's definitely never boring.
Awesome. And this being a very technical product, because obviously you guys started 20 years ago, and it's been very interesting for me to hear the story of starting a company when I was a kid and how that's very different from other guests I've had on the show who are starting their companies a lot more recently. But one of the things I see with this is you guys have developed basically alongside of a lot of major developments in machine learning and artificial intelligence. And you guys have been there throughout that wave until what it is now, where AI is very mainstream. Obviously, with ChatGPT coming out a few years ago, everybody has heard about AI now and understands the possibilities that are there. So I want to ask you, being along this journey and developing Iveda alongside these major developments in AI, what sort of technical challenges have you guys faced or your engineering teams have faced building out these technologies and applying it to many different use cases?
Good question. Based on my experience and what our team's been doing, when it comes to challenges, Marcus, our challenge is to decide what to focus on, what to stick to. That's the sincere answer. Is there's technology has really gotten easier. Anybody starting a company today, I'll tell you, I think you can have a one-man $10 million company today based on all the AI tools that we can identify now. But our challenge as a company in constant evolution is staying focused to who we are, what got us here, what we must continue to do to achieve the wins and grow those wins even further with the clients that we do have. People, end users, the world I found, and I can speak of this after 23 years, is I'm not running like headless chickens anymore here at the company. We're learning how to be more mature and we're focusing. And we find that even our customers need time to evolve. They need time to adopt and adapt. And as a company, yeah, it's wonderful. There's a lot of evolution around us and things are going rapid and everybody can do everything now. But for a business to be real, it's not about all that yeah stuff. It's still understanding my customers now. What are they having problems with? We as a company, more focused on AI tools, are applying our expertise in how to leverage artificial intelligence to fix that particular problem, not to do anything special, new, or wow the world, but we're going to fix a freaking problem that the world is continuing to see, and we're going to be the best and the quickest to do so. So the challenge at Iveda is to be sticking and focusing to the matter at hand. So instead of trying to apply so many new things, why don't we just freaking perfect and make easy and make it quick to give our customers a solution and tool that they don't have to think so hard to make work. That is what Iveda is. As a matter of fact, our vision, I think we updated our vision even, is to simplify everyday life one innovation at a time. That's what we got to do. Because if I open my eyes and ears and start looking, the one cool thing about it is we're not chasing anybody right now, Marcus, and I'm very proud to be able to say that. Iveda is now building a terrific company culture of wonderful people that are beginning to understand what I'm sharing with you. Yes, there's a lot of noise out there, and it's fantastic. It's beautiful. But man, you want to build a business? You want to take care of real customers? Find real problems and leverage AI to solve it. Don't keep building new. I mean, the whole concept, we did that back in the year 2000. One of my early companies out of college, build it and they will come. $2 billion worth of wireless infrastructure that went boom. Chapter 11. That's how I had to go and find a new job. Great experience. So I've learned a lot from the early years to now. And I found that the fundamentals don't change, brother. If you really focus and stick to the fundamentals, those values, they never change. Technology does, but technology is easy. Today, it's even easier. So the challenges in answering your question is never technology, never engineering. I think people will find challenges and to share, but me, those are just everyday part of our jobs. But the challenge for us is staying focused on what truly matters to not just us, but our partners. Our partners have clients for a reason. Why do these clients remain clients to our partners all these years? Once we learn that, once we can assist a good partner how to build value for that client, leveraging AI, leveraging hardware, equipment, and technology they already have. Mind you, everybody invests a lot of money. The last thing you want to do is tell them to rip it out and buy something new. You don't make too many friends that way. So I'm here to make a lot of friends in this world, man. And it's been a lot of fun. Been a lot of fun.
Awesome. So that leads into my next question. So we talked about the technology side, and one of the things you mentioned is that partnerships are a big part of growing the business. Is that primarily going to be Iveda's growth strategy going forward, is building more of those partnerships and giving great results for your clients?
Yes, sir. It is truly relationships. It is through not just technology, but business partnerships that will make sense to really scale our growth in big multitudes. And what is that, and how do we do that? We now, our focus is to, innovation is cliche, right? Everybody say they innovate, but we need to continue to improve on the needs, on the tools that end clients need. And our partners throughout the world, our partners are the systems and security integrators throughout the world. Doesn't matter what language. We got them in Vietnam, we got them in the Philippines, we got them in Egypt, we got them throughout Europe, United States, Mexico, Colombia, right? These are good businesses that are furnishing and providing safety, security solutions, and environmental solutions for their end customers. Iveda's key, our key to success, is to make friends and partner with these wonderful companies that have been around for decades, that have had already direct relationships of their own. And all they're looking for is to continue to offer better value. That is innovation. I call that business innovation, not technology. But through proper business innovation, you build these channels that, when in a comfort zone and trust level, will share with you what I love hearing: problems, issues that one has not been able to solve. That's where I pride our company, Iveda. We've grown over the years, but our mindset is still, what can't be done? Why can't it be done? Let's just do it. While other companies might have, a bureaucracy to when and how something can get done, we're still operating like that beautiful startup. Dude, let's come on here. Let's make this happen. How much? Could we afford it? Who's buying it? Let's do it. Boom, decisions made. No going through these channels. When you do that, your customers walk away. You sound like the same old dude that's trying to sell them something new. Here, I want to find out before I even sell it to them. What do you got? What's your problem? And what I'm able of offering you. Can I fix it today? Man, if I can show you that I can fix something today, Marcus, you'll be calling me, brother. And that's what we still do, if you can believe it, in 5 major regions throughout the world. We still talk this way. Multiple languages, though, but we still talk this way.
Love it. David, as we start to wind down here, I have a few final questions for you. Where do you see the biggest opportunities going forward in terms of AI adoption, based on your 2 decades working in this space?
Awesome. I'm seeing it right now, and our business growth is coming from such need right now. It's efficiency. Again, like innovation, that word is widely used, right? But what I mean by that, from the donut shop example to a major computer electronics manufacturer, and we have both. The problem, remember, I'm all about the problem. These guys need to account for the work accomplished. What work is getting done, how it's getting done, how long is it taking. Those are the metrics that all businesses measure till this day. And why is that? Revenue. How much money am I making? How much money am I losing? That is what I call efficiency. So I'm not going to use the word efficiency so generically because my technology makes you more efficient. No, we're tackling and we're seeing growth in all over the world. Every single operation is now leveraging AI or asking how they may leverage this so-called smart thing, this artificial intelligence, to more accurately maintain, monitor, right, and report and provide data of their operation. Because in the past, everybody was reacting. Where technology is beneficial today is that if we can help our customers know ahead of time, understand more ahead of time, make decisions ahead of time, rather than reacting, that's where AI becomes a benefit. AI is not out here to do anybody's job. AI is not out here to take anybody's job. AI is not spying on anybody. There's no time, no energy for any of that stuff in everyday businesses. Your everyday businesses, from a donut shop to a major manufacturer, is just needing to know that, man, am I producing enough donuts? Am I producing enough motherboards And am I doing it in the best manner possible, in the cleanest manner possible? And are my people safe? Are they okay? And that's what AI is doing right now. And we see total growth no matter where we go, from Vietnam, Philippines, Spain, Germany, US, Mexico, car manufacturers. The problem is the same: people safety and operational efficiency. But here's the cool thing: nobody wants to buy anything new. They want all that, but no, everybody's afraid of spending the big dollars to overhaul anything. So if a company like Iveda can come in and say, I can leverage your existing hardware, devices, or infrastructure, and I apply a tool, a platform on top of that, and I can add smarts. I'm just going to use simple language. I can make it smarter so it can provide you this piece of information, Mr. Customer. Is that what you're looking for? Are you looking to just know what size your box is before it goes off the assembly line? The answer is yes. Before, there were shifts of people who manually measure. Um, yeah, you just think about the simple stuff. To simplify everyday life for yourself and businesses. If your technology can do that, do it well over and over again. That's how you grow the business, not just stay in business. That's how you grow the business. So I see in the future, it's all about operational efficiency and leveraging infrastructure that businesses and cities already have, brother. It's going to be a lot less about buying new. Especially now you go online like ChatGPT, I pay nothing and I can get a lease agreement done for me better than a pro. I mean, I love it, right? So I'm not going to walk in anybody's shop and tell them I've got smart technology that's going to cost you too much money. No, I'm going to find the problem, solve their problem, and then let them realize how much value that is. And it's a wonderful way to build relationships.
Love that. I love focusing on the very practical use case. David,
Yes.
final question. What is the number one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Start developing your professional team. And I'm going to use it. Build the dream team from the beginning. Doesn't matter how young you are, or back in the day, I used to call them white hairs, the guys that advise me. But look at, man, I'm a white hair now myself. So no matter how many white hairs you talk to, it don't matter because they didn't experience what you're experiencing now. So whatever entrepreneurs are experiencing now, you need to build a team around you that believes in you, your purpose, and your vision. Because what I've learned is I had a vision, I had a dream, and I had a purpose. But what took so long is I was a chicken butt. I could have used a different word, but I was just a chicken butt in believing and following and finding and only choosing to work with people who also saw what I saw. So guys, if you're working people with people who don't believe in you, quit it. Get out of it. They don't need to be there. Find another job. Do something else. Because as we are growing now, it's never too late. But Iveda's core and prime focus is building our dream team. Because Marcus, technology's easy, dude. Technology is second nature. People, number one, because your customers talk to your people. Then technology is second nature. If I was younger and knew what I would, man, I wish I can do Back to the Future, right? Send this video to myself and slap myself in the face and start listening. It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome.
Awesome, David. Well said. So, where can people go to learn more about you online and learn more about Iveda?
They definitely iveda.com, iveda.com. And I know today we're on all social platforms, X, Instagram, LinkedIn. Just look up Iveda and you'll see a lot of real time sharing and join us in this wonderful movement.
Awesome. David, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Marcus, for having me. It was fun.